I'm Arlen Ettinger, president of Guernsey's. We're preparing for the Tom Doyle collection coming to auction on February 19th. Tom, for 45 years, worked one-on-one with Les as his electronics guru, his consultant, his assistant, his luthier. This is a small auction, but it's about quality, not quantity, as it contains two of the most iconic, important instruments ever created by Les Paul and Chet Atkins, surrounded by a handful of other objects relating to the remarkable career of Les Paul. For starters, this is the stool that Les would sit at when giving many of his performances, some of which I personally attended at a club that was known as Fat Tuesdays here in New York City. But we moved from this stool to this wonderful guitar, referred to affectionately as Dark Eyes. This is the one item in the collection that is not owned by Les Paul, but rather was the Gretsch instrument created for legendary musician Chet Atkins when they were looking to come out with a new concept. Remember, this electric guitars back in the 50s was a very new idea, and Chet was a legendary figure in the world of country music. Gretsch had made a couple of orange guitars for him that looked distinctly very Western, very country Western, and they wanted to create a guitar that had more of a country gentleman feel to it, and hence they made this instrument, Dark Eyes, and from this successful instrument gave birth to many, many others played by leading musicians around the world, both in country music, also in blues, rhythm and blues, and rock and roll. So this was at the start of it all. Now we move to this board here and a number of devices down below, all of which came from Les Paul's studio. Here are set lists that he would write up prior to giving a performance. This and that, the very mics he performed into. So could the man have been any closer to these objects? Obviously not. But now we come to the pièce de résistance, arguably the most important electric guitar in the world, Black Beauty. The guitar made for Les Paul by Gibson in 1954 that really gave birth to all the Les Pauls that followed. And for those who may not be familiar with the Les Paul model guitar, understand that you go a long way before you find a major musician who hasn't played significantly a Les Paul. If you at home are lucky enough to have a Les Paul that you play with, I know would have a thrill playing that instrument, but this Black Beauty is this instrument that gave birth to all of those. And our catalog shows this guitar because Tom, who did the setups for Les, was kind enough to change it so we could see what it looked like in each iteration. Makes it even better. It's hard to say, it's impossible to say where to start. Where it will end up though, certainly if you look at these guitars, I think it's fair to make a comparison between these instruments and the most expensive instruments that are sold all time. So we have very high expectations. This could well be the new world record guitar.